Alright, I wanted to cover why I think Necromancer is the best armor in the game. Yeah, I think Paladin's pretty good, but it's got some versatility. It can do several things like blind and Elevon, and it's got a void skill. Basically, it's got a built-in light weapon. It can do blind. It can do can revive itself if you die. There's a lot of things. It can basically become, if anybody's ever tested it, the strongest beast master armor, with the one toggle that increases its pet and guest damage. But I think in terms of resource heal loops, being able to heal, being able to replenish your MP, and indirectly be able to heal your SP, I think the combination of everything is pretty strong. And then the Grasp Essence ability, which is free, and those are the things that heal some things, and then you can actually do some Ellie resist stacks that make it extremely defensive. It's got natural defense built in. It's got a lot of things going for it. But in order to really maximize it, like a lot of things, you have to really stack things. A lot of pay-to-play items is kind of involved. We've got the pet and guest Necromoglins here. So we've got 25.7, so probably double that for magic. So looking at about 51. Magic gets 66 here, and half of those for spells. I think it's half. Got the spell slinger version. Got a plus 50 int. Got the plus 50 here. And because Purple Rain and soon to be the Father Time Shields will probably get the nerf bat. If you can stick to MP based quick casts, you can self-heal that the next turn. So what I wanted to do here, so we've got, obviously Prime Chaos Orb is going to be essential. Alright, so got lucky there, 130% to darkness. So let's do, I'm going to show a couple things wrapped in one. The first thing that I'm going to do, let's see here, I'm going to start eating up some of my SP. Do a couple of these stacks. Okay, so I've got this Affinity Space Gauntlet. We've got this to block, and that's once per battle. This is every turn. So I've got one round at 0.5. Well, what happens when you go here with Invincible Star? You get the option of SP or MP, which is fantastic. 33%, 66%, 99%. So let's do the big dog. Now we're at 2 rounds at 0.255. If I casted it by itself, it would be 1 round at 0.01. I'll take 2 rounds at that personally. Alright, so now I've got another 87 dexterity. Got some blocking and some BTH. Maybe I wanted more BTH, like that. Oh yeah, I got a misc with the MP option. So now I'm up to 400 intellect, 50 dexterity. So the lack of having the dexterity, I've probably, as far as BTH goes, intellect and dexterity are affected each other the same. Combined is 450. So I basically made it up almost there. But then I've got the plus 87 dex buff. So as far as BTH goes, I've more than made it up with these boosts. I'm not worried about that too much. This monster's not a high level anyway, just for demonstration purposes. So now I've got all these buffs. First thing I'm going to do, I've got celerity. So the first thing I'm going to do is grasp essence and rend mana. This is going to create an all Ellie Vuln. I've already done 2 items to stack. This is going to also stack. You have to be a little bit careful when you, if you do too much damage and the monster has say like maybe 2k MP, it starts to bug out and it won't even, it'll say all Ellie Vuln for NAN rounds at an NAN clip. It bugs out. It used to bug out and be like, it'd go in the negatives. Sometimes it would go less than 1%. They fixed that, but it still bugs out some. So here we go. Hopefully it didn't bug out. As you saw, crazy damage. And it bugged out. It's no longer there. No way, no. Like I said, sometimes it bugs out. Alright, so I've got no MP and no SP. So here's the loop. Here's one loop. Can go ahead here. Alright, so go back to Grasp Essence. Consume Fear and Unravel Blood will heal you more, but it's based on damage at the end of the day. Your damage will increase the most if there's fear, or the most if there's blood. But I've got all these boosts. I've got high int, I've got the booster pets in these things, 130% darkness. I'm probably going to full heal and then some. Alright, so now I'm at full HP and was at full SP. I've got all my toggles on for Necromancer, so it's going to eat a lot of SP. Not a lot of hit points left on the monster, but if, let's say, the monster had 2k hit points left, I probably would do a lot here. I mean, basically I would have full healed because I'm inflicting bleed. So, pretending like the monster had 2k, I will have then healed my MP, completing the cycle and healing up. A lot of times, if I do have difficulty with like a monster or a boss monster, I find myself just grabbing Necromancer and I'm beating everything with it. Alright, so hopefully we won't encounter the bug this time. I'll see if I can. Go over some other things that we can do. So even though, say, like light's 100%, there's ways I don't have to change my armor. I can pull these resistances down effectively to where this basically becomes the only armor I ever need. Alright, so now, so we've got that. Let's go back over with this guy here. Let's go ahead and do that there while it's here. Alright, another thing that we can do, so we have this barrier, 739. Come over to Eclipse Dragon. Now I've got 2,364 and it's not even lucky striking. Alright. Go ahead and go back over here. So I've got 2,000 hit point barrier, so I'm not too concerned about that. So go ahead and give myself the boost there. So 2 rounds at 0.255. Let's see what happens with 588 MP. Actually, went to 3 rounds at .1779. I guess I paralyzed the monster and it came back to me. No, wait, take that back. It was a celerity. Alright, so now I'm going to grasp essence and consume fear, and I'm probably going to full heal, was my guess. Or close. Pretty close. And this monster's not going to be able to do anything. Got this massive hit point barrier plus an Ellie shield of 17%. If I went back on top with another Ellie shield, it would raise it. It would give me more turns, but it would raise it. I'll just keep it where it's at. Now I've got some bleed, 0.3. Go back on with grasp essence. And this is going to be insane, probably. I'm not as high as I thought. But, full heal me. And if I wanted to start over, $27.85, $34.84, $43.76. Again if I wanted to, and then I'm always increasing my damage. It doesn't even really matter. Go ahead and do this guy. Don't think this one's going to be ready. Not yet. Alright. Go back onto this guy. Actually, let's do this again. Heal that back up. And I'll be back to the start probably here. And as you can see, invincible, really. You would have to encounter a monster that's going to be probably got damage caps to prevent large amounts of healing. It's going to hit you hard. So let's go ahead and get hyper crit here. I'm going to show you what this hit point barrier is going to become here in a second. So it's at 3820. I'm going to switch over to Frostville Crown. Now we're at 5454. Now we're at 7,000. And again, I'm just going in a loop here. Now I've got some bleed. I've got half power, which is, I think half power is good enough to do some pretty crazy stuff, but I'm going to have hyper crit this time. I'm going to go ahead and finish him off with grasp essence. I could go with the haunting spell. It'll do more damage. Maybe with this consume blood it might not. But you know, what if I'm on a quest and I need to heal up and I'm about to go into battle number 2, so you have to think about those things. So probably some pretty crazy damage here, and you're all done. So you basically give yourself a loop that I really feel like even bossing, I kind of feel like it's more powerful than blocking, because you have to to account for. I'm gonna try to trade this out for this guy because I have forgot to change it. All right, so let's go back in and let's see if I can find me a challenge battle and see how I do. And these are some of the reasons why I prefer luck over dexterity, because you can make up dexterity easier than you can make up luck, easier than you can make up endurance, those kind of things. Alright, so I'm going to start off here. I don't know if Spotter Drake assists with getting past the boss boosts for status inflictions and whatnot. I will need to make sure we've got that going, so let's see what we got here. I'm just going to try to get a couple here. Alright, maybe it does help. Let's see if we can do this, even though it's not going to do a whole lot. And this is to myself, so it's not going to matter. Maybe I can get some blocking here. Alright, I'm going to switch over to my pet. Another thing I've done is bleed pets and guests, and really drive bleed up, and it makes for some insane damage. But with this damage cap here, it's not going to really be too helpful here unless I leave the bleed there. And I will be healing my MP with Grasp Essence, removing the bleed, so it'd be kind of pointless to continue to inflict it. Alright, so I've got the Elevon here. I'm going to need to wait. Actually, let's do this. So what I do here is I wait the first round to do Invincible Star. So I'm driving my energy down to half of 52 there. So 52 half, 26 half is 13 with the stack. So, and then I'll have a hit point barrier, a small one. But I need to probably go ahead and heal. Alright, I'll do it one more time. Basically hitting close to the cap, so I'm back to pretty close to full heal. So now I'm gonna let the monster, who's gonna probably get through my barrier after maybe this on the second or third hit here. Let's see, got one miss. Okay, all right, so that worked out. So now I'm gonna start doing some buffs. Top with this guy here. See if I can manage to do this one again. Okay. Let's give myself some accuracy here, even though accuracy is usually not an issue with this guy. See if I can double my lucky strike rate. Alright, I've got a couple more rounds of celerity. So now I'm going to go and see what I can do with my 4 rounds at 0.20. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that there. some pretty good damage. I'm going to go back on top again. This keeps him doing his energy based, which is the stronger of the attacks. But I can continue to push this lower and lower, or more rounds. So I'm at 4 rounds for 0.18. Alright, I think I'm going to try to leave it there for a little bit now. So now what I'm going to do, I'm not too worried about dying here. Now I'm going to go ahead and do this. 1541. Alright, I'm getting lucky on the celerity. Both a little bit. Still have a barrier here. Now if I can get a couple of shadow feeders. Doesn't want to help me out. Awesome. I'm just going to go play for defense this time. And basically you just try to stay in front of the damage. Now he's going to switch over to the fire attacks. About it. I think Wabio is one of the harder void bosses. As you can see, you know, this is by no means this Necromancer an energy armor or a fire armor, but you're able to really drive your defense down to the point where you don't have to worry too much, and it works for pretty much everyone that I've ever fought. The only thing is if there's ever a monster that cannot form shift and maybe has a negative or extremely low darkness resistance, and then you would definitely be able to see the difference there. One other thing I'll show before I go. I'm going to go ahead and do the fear thing. As you can see, with all these stacked, it's very, very good damage. bosses. And then what you can do when they have fear, you just heal your SP, and then you just go back on top. With all these stacks, and the heal from this is going to be increased. At the full heal, it's only 80% darkness. And then another thing I showed a little bit of the last video is how this pet here scales on luck and charisma, which I have both, but technically also your main stat, it's increasing what that's able to do. And then you'll notice the amount of damage I'll do from this. Here, I'll just do this real quick. Keep it. This also does Ellie's shield. It's weaker and only for one turn. And then, okay, let's do this. And then hopefully you'll see this damage with the stacks here and the lucky striking. So, very, very strong armor. I really feel like it could beat any monster just about in the game, potentially, with the right items. But anyway, there's your heal loops, your resource loops, with high damage. It's defensive. If you're doing like 0.17 Ellie resist, it covers auto hit versus blocking. So in some ways, it's probably better than blocking, even though everyone thinks that blocking's so great. But there you have it.